If you're at a point where you're wondering, what should we do? I would highly recommend you call somebody like Bent Gay, Gayco Healthcare, or Robert Reed at Integrity Hospice, and just talk to them. They will lay it all out for you. They'll tell you the process. They will answer a lot of your questions. At times like these, we need to be able to ask somebody that's going to give you an honest opinion. And they're there for you. They're there for the patients. And they want to do what's in the best interest of everybody concerned. So if you want a true, honest answer, when you walk away from that meeting, I feel sure that you will be able to make the decision that you feel like you need to make for you and your loved one.
I expect to learn a lot about all the trades, especially masonry, because that's something I really enjoy doing.
Basically operate any other equipment you would use in the construction class in everyday life. It's giving me life skills that I can pass on to future generations.
It is a school club that people can join, and it's basically to get you ready for the future.
I really appreciate West Lawrence High School for letting this be possible for us to have this construction class.
The bottom line is it's all about the kids. And my number one mission is to help these kids learn a trade to the point where they can become gainfully employed.
Good evening and welcome to the Heart of Georgia College and Career Academy. We're having a forum here, and my name is Jeff Cannon, and I am chair-elect of the Chamber of Commerce. And no, this is like a throwback to 15 years ago, but here I am again. Before we get started, I think I'm going to call on Heath Taylor, who is the president of the Dublin-Lawrence Chamber of Commerce, to open with invocation.
Father, we do thank you for our beautiful new day that you've given us. Thank you for each and every opportunity that you give us every new day, Lord. I thank you for the leadership that we have in this wonderful community, for our educators, for our business and industry, and just all the blessings you pour out on us each and every day so freely, Lord. We thank you for those things. We ask that you would be with us tonight through this meeting, that our time together would be pleasing unto you in the name of Christ. Amen.
Again, this is an education forum, which I think everybody here would agree that education is an extremely important thing everywhere, and particularly in our community here. First, we'd like to thank Georgia Power, who is the sponsor for our program tonight. And at this time, I'm going to introduce our panel. On my far right, we've got Jay Studstill, Area Manager with Georgia Power Company. Brad Lofton, who is President of the Dublin-Lawrence Development Authority. On my immediate left, Don Avery, who is President and CEO of Fairview Park Hospital. Next to him is Dr. Lloyd Horridon, President of Oconee Fall Line Technical College. And on the far left is Tiffany Lofton, who is CEO of the Heart of Georgia Career and College and Career Academy. So what we're going to do, we're going to open up and we're going to give each one of our panelists 5 minutes to basically, tell a little bit about what they want to discuss tonight. So at this time, we'll start with Jay Studstill.
On behalf of Georgia Power Company, we're honored to have the opportunity to sponsor this forum this evening. Education is very, very vital to the state of Georgia, and Georgia Power sees it in all the communities that we serve. Educators do a lot beyond the scenes to take care of the children and to get them ready to be citizens and to be people that can be productive in the community. An aspect that Georgia Power Company has around the state is that we get an opportunity to work with industry leaders in industries and potential industries. For over 100 years, Georgia Power Company has been involved with economic development. And there's a common theme, and myself, I've met with just numerous prospects from around the world. And there's a common theme, and it's how's your education system in the communities that we're going to be serving electricity? And some of the things that we talk to them about are ways in which the communities enhance that education. Virtually all of the prospects talk about technical education. And Georgia Power Company is very proud to be part of technical education as well as overall degreed engineering. We're an engineering type company, as you can imagine. Several years ago, Georgia Power partnered with the state, and we were involved with the career academies and the creation of the career academies. We had a lot of people that were involved with the establishment of the career academies around. The idea behind the career academies, as we saw it, was a mechanism in which we could help. Industry could help, Georgia Power could help educators that are overworked in a lot of instances to provide a different form of education. That form of education would be more of a hands-on type. It would be more of let's do things in a format in which we can learn. We learned that prospects often are looking at statistics. One of the statistics they look at is dropout rates. And come to find out, so many times students drop out because they get bored. One thing that the career academies that we saw provide is a way for them to learn in a mechanism in a way that they don't get bored. They do something that allows them an opportunity to become citizens, to become people that have a skill that they can give back to others. So we're very proud, fortunate, thankful for the community in Dublin for creating a career academy. And we want to continue to be a sponsor of the Career Academy and provide as much as we can to help educators in the jobs that they do, supplement them to provide the quality education that our community deserves. So I hope I can answer some questions this evening. If you have some, please fire away and we'll give you our best. And if not, you can come see me at my office and we'll talk about things a little bit later. So thank you.
Our second panelist is Brad Lofton.
Thank you, Jeff, and Heath, and for the Chamber, thank you all for putting this on. When you're in my shoes and your job is to recruit companies to Dublin and to help support existing industries, I can't think of a more important topic than the one we're talking about tonight. So thank you, all of our partners, both school systems. We really appreciate you all being here tonight. Everywhere I go in my job around the state, I love when everybody comes up to me and says, Brad, what are you doing right in Dublin, Georgia? Something is happening in Lawrence County that is not happening anywhere else in this state. And in August 2nd of 2014, the Macon Telegraph ran a headline article that said, firms around the world are choosing Dublin, Lawrence County, Georgia. Well, I've had a lot of fun with my counterpart in Macon. Every time I see him, I remind him of his hometown newspaper article that says, what's going right in Dublin? And we've had a lot of fun with that, but that hadn't always been the case. Rome, Georgia's newspaper in April of 2009 ran a headline that said, once busy industrial area is now a dead zone. Those of you that were around in April of 2009, you may remember what was going on at that time. J.P. Stevens shut down in 2007. Mohawk announced a closure. 700 or 800 people were impacted. Remember that back in April of 2009? Honeywell closed. Case New Holland closed. So over the last 9 or 10 years, we've lost between 3,000 and 4,000 manufacturing jobs in a community of only 49,000 people. And that is a huge hole we've been trying to dig out of over the last 3 to 5 years. Well, how's a community of 49,000 people able to turn that tide, which we have? I think the answer to that is this community, and I've only been here a year and a half, and I have picked up on that. This community, more so than any other community I've ever seen, is able to set politics aside and do what it takes to succeed when it comes to job creation and education. I've never seen a community that does a better job of it. So the good leadership and taking the politics out of the equation, I think, has been our secret to success. And that has led to the fact that we've got a SPLOST that we passed for economic development. One of the only ones in the state. Now 6 or 7 other communities now are trying to mimic our sales tax plan. We've got one of the largest VA hospitals in the Southeast, despite the fact we're 49,000 people. A lot of great things that are happening in this community due to our leadership. One issue that has arisen, we've always gotten out in front of issues that arise, and one issue that has arisen now that has the potential to slam the brakes on all of our momentum that we've gone and had over the last few years is workforce development. It's our number one threat, and it's going to impact our ability to create jobs for 12 to 15 counties that depend on Dublin-Lawrence County as the job center for about 300,000 people. We've got location, 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 the top three real estate priorities we've got. We're 100 miles from the fastest growing port in the country. We're 100 miles from the busiest airport in the world. We're right on the interstate. We've got the best quality of life in the country. We've got great infrastructure. But our number one challenge we're hearing not just from new companies but existing industries is labor. We've got to do something to improve the quality and the quantity of our labor force. So we haven't lost a lot of projects, new projects over the last 2 to 3 years, but a couple come to mind. One is Caterpillar that announced 1,400 new jobs going to Athens, Georgia. They build construction equipment, and not sure if many of you knew this or not, but Lawrence County, Exit 58, was their preferred site, and elected to pull up out of Lawrence County and announce in Athens due to a perceived workforce challenge. So that's something that we have already experienced as being a detriment to our community. We've got to get out ahead of. Volvo was here last year in May of 2015, announced that they're moving to Charleston, South Carolina. They were here for 2 days looking at our industrial park. I'll never forget the guy looking at me from Volvo, and he says, "Brad, how can you convince me, we're going to spend $2 billion, how can you convince me that you can provide me a steady supply of 1,500 to 2,000 high-skilled, well-trained workers?" I want you to think about that. That's pretty sobering, especially when our entire workforce in Lawrence County is 20,000 people, and they needed 2,000, 10% of our workforce. So just like we've dealt with other challenges before, we need to address this challenge head on, and we have to count on our K through 12 partners, our technical college partners, to help us with that. And once again, our community has risen to the challenge, and our city, everybody in this room, city and county partners have done a great job of helping us put the Career Academy together, which we believe is going to bridge that skills gap that we need and we're seeing so desperately. So now for the first time, we can look a company in the eye and say, no, we don't have 2,000 jobs or high-skilled workers, but let me tell you what we're doing to prepare that's innovative, that's brand new, that industry's calling for. And we can look them in the eyes and they can get comfortable with that. Valmira Glass is here tonight. Brandon is here. Brandon, where are you? Somewhere in the back. They announced a couple weeks ago $90 million and 425 new jobs. So we worked with them for over a year to encourage them to expand. Would they spend $90 million in a community? That's a lot of money. If they can't get comfortable with a pipeline of future employees as they begin to graduate and move forward. So having a career academy here was very critical to them. So we already have success. So another point I'd like to make, somebody in this room, a friend of mine mentioned this. If you're a local business and you're wanting to provide some money to help with workforce development, say you've got $50,000, would it make more sense for you to put that $50,000 in every middle and high school throughout this entire county, or into a regional academy where 4 or 5 different high schools can converge and take advantage of that $50,000 investment? To me, that makes all the sense in the world. So in closing, I think the Career Academy is an innovative tool for our kids to get industry-specific training that will translate into marketable, higher wage for them and their family as they continue to support their families. It will help us recruit new manufacturing here that we desperately need in this region. It will help our existing industries be able to grow and have a good, steady pipeline of good, well-trained employees. I know there's been some bumps in the road. Thank you all so very much for believing in this, for doing what you can to make sure it continues to be strong and effective, both systems. You all are our heroes, and thank you for what you do to help us create jobs and to make our workforce even better. So those are my thoughts. Thank you all very much.
Choose the convenience of Neighbors Express and get friendly, courteous service every time you visit any of our convenient locations. Fill up with pay at the pump and take advantage of our bigger and better selection of beverages and tobacco products. And buy 12 packs of Pepsi products, 2 for $6.99. Enjoy the popular crushed ice with your favorite fountain drink. Also enjoy a fresh, hot breakfast. Stop by for lunch or dinner. It's always fresh, always convenient at Neighbors Express. Now located on Central Drive at East Dublin at I-16 and 441 and in Cedar Grove, providing farm fuel for all our customers. Count on the convenience of Neighbors Express.
Growth. It's what we all want. It means doing what it takes, getting up every morning and making it happen. And we couldn't agree more. Because your success is our success. At Morris Bank, we're banking on you.
Our next panelist is Don Avery from Fairview Park Hospital.
We're 8 minutes ahead right now, so I get 13, is that right? In an interview several weeks ago on 60 Minutes, the president and chairman of Apple, phones, said that the reason his company has about 40% of their investment in China is because of workforce. In fact, he was criticized, the interviewer was criticizing him, and he said, I'd rather not be there. He said, we have an antiquated tax code in this country. He said, but we do not have enough people with technical training. We place such an emphasis on university education, and there's a much higher percentage of unemployed university graduates than there are technical school graduates. I'm convinced that the future of most communities is developing technical education. I've been on boards of every place I've lived, in Valdosta and in Columbus and here, of technical education. Not coincidentally, I'm on the board of the technical college here as well as the academy. And I'm kind of going to be talking more as a representative, as the chairman of the Heart of Georgia College and Career Academy than the CEO of the hospital, although I think you'll see why I feel the way I feel. The majority of our employees have been educated there. So at one technical school or another, although a lot of them from the one right here. The Heart of Georgia Technical College, I'm going to tell you what it's not, and then I'm going to tell you what it is. It's not a vocational school for kids who can't find their way anywhere else in the high schools. That's not what the Heart of Georgia College and Career Academy is. I first came into, I guess, an understanding of the potential of a college and career academy before I even came here. The first one I visited was in San Antonio, Texas, and it's a multi-district career academy. And I happened to be visiting in a classroom and talked to a number of seniors in their healthcare track. Every single person in there had plans, and in fact at that point, because I was there in the spring, had already enrolled in or been accepted to an education locale, whether it was a university. Some of them were going on to be doctors or RNs and were going to university. Several of them were going on to a technical program. That technical program might have been a pharmacy tech, it might have been a radiology tech, a respiratory therapy tech, but they were going on to technical school. And I can assure you, every one of those would have a job when they graduated. You know, the graduation rate, the employment rate is nearly 100% at our technical college here. That is really an important thing to remember. And this College and Career Academy, what it is, it's a cross-section of students. I visited a school in St. Louis and saw the same thing. I went to Rome a year ago and visited their school and spent a day up there. My reward for that was the opportunity to serve on this board. And within a few months, I was the chairman of this board. I think I got snookered. I'm not sure what you did to me, but the reality is I agreed to it. I wanted to do it because I believe in it. 800 students, and it's a single district school in Rome, are part of this program. And you've got everywhere from the kids who are looking to find their way to a valedictorian, from the kids that can't tie their shoes to the kids that are going to go play college football or baseball or whatever sport they are. A cross-section of the whole school system there is a part of that college and career academy. The opportunity we have here is significant. We started with just over 30 students the first year. The second year we had 89 students, and here's the cool news. We had 89 students before Christmas. At the end of the first semester, the 2015-16 school year, we had 89 students. Guess how many students we have today? 89 students. That's a pretty good deal. They all stayed, they met their requirements, they met their grades and everything else. We have an opportunity next year. We anticipate that when we have juniors, we will have probably 140, 150 students. We're going to have dual enrollment starting when we have juniors, dual enrollment in technical college, dual enrollment in Middle Georgia State University. I met with their president a few weeks ago. So that's another opportunity. Yeah, we can do that in the high schools too, but these tracks that we're developing and will continue to develop will mean kids can graduate from high school with certifications and degrees and other opportunities to immediately enter the workforce or go on to another education, maybe go on to technical school, maybe go on to university. But many of them will be able to go into work immediately and making higher than average pay. That's what this is all about. Again, Tim Cook, what he said is, we do not develop enough people with technical education in America. He said, I'll be glad to bring those jobs back to America from China if we had a workforce that could handle it. This isn't just a Lawrence County issue. So we have an opportunity here if we do it well. There's been a lot of talk about who's getting along with whom and all the problems we're having. And I will tell you, we got hung up on a building and lost focus, I think, to a short, brief period of time on the importance of the education. Now, the educators didn't lose that focus. And let me tell you, the cooperation, the partnership between the city and the county is what's making this successful. It's really, right now today, it's a 4-school system college and career academy. It's Lawrence County, it's Dublin City, it's Bleckley County, and it's Wheeler County. Today, Bleckley and Wheeler do not have any students. Bleckley will have students in the fall. They've committed to that. We're going to have more students from the city and the county right here be a part of this. And it's a partnership. The teachers that we have today are employed by the city, but I will tell you, we could not be successful without the partnership and support of the county. The building being traded back and forth was really a technical issue because of a water issue. Today, that building is back in the county's hands. We developed a partnership. We worked out all the details. And the support the county has given, they are completely paying for that building. They pay for the upkeep on it, the maintenance on it, the utilities, the whatever house cleaning, the housekeeping needs to be done. In addition to that, they're funding it, they're supporting over $100,000. So again, it's a 2-system partnership, and it works because Tiffany's making it work, and Droy's making it work, and a lot of other people, and our board's making it work, and our board is made up of people from each of those 2 school boards, the city and the county, and then people in the community. Jay's a past chairman of that, and I think that, you know, we think we're going to try and coerce you to come back on, I think, Jay, is what I understand. Joe just stepped down because he had served in that capacity, but he's still on the board. And so there's good representation from this community. There's elected members from, again, each of the city and the county boards here. And so everybody's voice is heard. And I will tell you, I've talked to both superintendents on multiple occasions. Could it survive with just one or the other? It could survive, but it's better as a regional school. Of the 30-plus schools in this state, only a couple of them are regional. The potential of a regional academy is significantly greater than a single district academy. We have worked and continue to work through some of the issues. How many of you in this room are married? Farrah and I have been married, what's today? What's today, the 23rd? We've been married for 31 years, 7 months, and 23 days today. And I just, because we were married the last day of the month, it's easy to remember. But I'm telling you, in those 31 plus years, we have argued a few times. Eventually, I learned that she was right and I was wrong. But the issue is we've had issues, and our marriage has continued to grow over the years, and we've been through a lot of stuff, like you have in your marriages, like the city and county schools have here. Boy, have I heard the history. But you know what? We are continuing to say, let's get back on the kids, let's get back on developing the curriculum. And that's one of the things that we're going to do moving forward. And Tiffany, I hope I'm not stealing your thunder, but the CTAE, this doesn't replace CTAE education. It should supplement it. It should take it to another level. Again, as Brad said, it's an opportunity to provide programs that serve all these communities and all these systems. And we're going to work together with the CTA instructors and directors in the school districts. So we're not working against them and duplicating services and efforts and everything else. So we're making the best use of limited dollars. But the potential of this school is significant. I anticipate within a couple of years, well, maybe 3 or 4 years, we could have 400 students in it. And we're going to be graduating people that can enter this workforce, and they can work for the Volvos, they can work for the Caterpillars, they can work for the Valmiras, or they could work for Ben Gay, or they could work for me. Or I think I saw Mary Alice working. They can work for you too. That they'll be immediately employable, and there'll be opportunities for them to get more education because of the education they're getting through this program. You talk to the parents that have kids there. You talk to the kids themselves. I was over there one evening watching this robotics club they've got. Man, it was like Georgia Tech. You know, looking at the stuff they had, they were playing with it. Well, they really weren't playing. They were developing a robotics deal, and I didn't even know what they were doing, but it was pretty cool. I saw a robotics program at Rome, and it was literally like I was looking at a program at Georgia Tech. We have this opportunity right here. This is a huge positive for this community, and I don't want people to get caught up in anything other than what a positive opportunity. It's already shown growth, and it's going to show a whole lot more growth.
I've been in this class for 4 years. I think Mr. Cutler's a great teacher. He's taught me a lot.
We have a head start on the construction industry.
Mr. Cutler stresses about safety all the time.
I've really found that I can work with carpentry. I'm very talented with that.
If we enjoy it, it allows us to have, as Mr. Cutler would say, tools in our toolbox.
By coming to school and working hard, and because that's the one thing industry says, send me some students who will show up for work.
ProMart Home Solutions has been improving homes for over 23 years in Orange County with metal roofing, vinyl siding, double hung windows, and more. At ProMart Home Solutions in East Dublin, not only are we increasing the curb appeal of your home, we're making your home more energy efficient, saving you hard-earned money, and enhancing your quality of life one home at a time. Our commitment is to our customers, and we take pride in the quality of our products. Call us today at 275-0661 or drop by our store today on Soperton Avenue in East Dublin. Just look for the water tower in East Dublin and we're right under it. Visit our knowledgeable and friendly staff today at ProMart Home Solutions, East Dublin.
I want to ask you to give another round of applause to Don, because this guy is passionate about the opportunities in this community. Let's give him a round of applause, please. My name's Lloyd Horton. I'm president of Oconee Fall Line Technical College, and our job is about workforce development and training. It's the only thing we do. We don't try to do things outside our realm of expertise. Now, I said that, and one of my staff members just raised their eyebrows and looked at me, because what's happened is we just recently took on a mission to provide all the training for Valmira's incoming workforce of 425 new people going to work when they flipped a switch on in September of 17. We took a small team to Latvia last week just to see if we could figure out how to spell Valmira and understand how they go about building their product and coming up with that product. But I want to take a moment to first talk about our relationship with the Career Academy. In those communities, and we serve 11 counties, 12 different K-12 systems, in those communities where they're fortunate enough to have a career academy or something close to that in existence, we find that the preparation of the students coming into our college is fantastic. It's stronger than ever. They have a great vision on where they want to go, what they want to do, and their foundation of basic technical skills and preparation for moving forward is unsurpassed. In the communities where those relationships don't already exist, the students struggle a little bit when they get to us. So Dublin and Lawrence County has a tremendous resource that's just now beginning to be developed. Just now getting to be what it can be. Because what it does is it allows the Career Academy to work with its secondary partners and its post-secondary partners to bring the best elements of all those systems together and give the students an opportunity to spring forward in their educational career, whatever that might be. Whether it is going on to the two-year technical college, very often graduates of the Career Academy arrive on our doorstep 2/3 to 3/4 of the way finished with a two-year program. Talk about a head start, friends. And they got it at no cost to their families. Huge, huge economic impact. How many here have paid to educate their children? Was it inexpensive? All right. One of the beauties of dual enrollment, move on when ready, and applying that to the Career Academy is those college credits that these kids are earning don't come with a price tag, and it does not affect their lifetime eligibility in the HOPE program. You want to talk about a free lunch? There aren't many, that's one. It's a great opportunity. We're proud to be a partner with the Career Academy, and through that Career Academy, a partner with the Dublin City system and the Lawrence County system. Great partners, great opportunity, great growth. Let's take just a moment to talk about Valmera, the latest in a series of successes in this community at attracting industry. We just spent a week in Latvia, and let me tell you, you can't get there from here. Not easily, anyhow. They made a commitment of $90 million, much of it private money from the owner of the corporation, to come to this community because they had confidence in the Career Academy and in the technical college that we could deliver, working together, we could deliver a trained workforce of 425 individuals trained in 6 broad career fields by September of 2017. We won't even turn the first screw of training in the process until this September, this fall. So we have a window of 1 year to do all that training. We know we'll have a lot of folks show up on the doorstep really not committed to those career opportunities. So we're assuming we're probably going to have to recruit, attract, and bring to the table about 400 plus individuals to prepare them for these jobs. These are good paying jobs, probably ranging anywhere from 17 to low 20s, depending on which of those 6 tracks they're on. Really excellent, excellent opportunities. I would hate to tell you how long I'd been a professional educator before I was earning $15 or $18 an hour. A long time. These are going to be folks just a few years out of school earning really good paychecks for themselves and for their families. Now, when you talk about why we have education systems and why we have career development and workforce development programs with the partners in the community, that's what it's about. That's what it's about. We need to be in a situation where we can keep our young people at home, and we can keep our existing industry and those workers at home. We don't want them moving to Atlanta or moving to Macon or anywhere else. We want to be able to visit with our grandchildren. We want to be able to see our families grow and have relationships with them. That happens because
You have a successful, and you have a great opportunity here for that to happen because of the great work of the Development Authority and its partners throughout both the county and the cities. I'm proud to be a part of that partnership. I'm proud Valmera chose Dublin and Lawrence County to make their investment of $90 million and to move forward with their plan. But I'm most proud of their confidence in the Career Academy and in our college to do the training to make that happen. So thank you all for your time. I probably went over 5 minutes, but not a lot. And thank you. I'll be here to answer questions afterwards.
Our last panelist is Tiffany Lofton from the Career Academy.
Well, these gentlemen have stolen my thunder tonight, let me just tell you. No, we are so thankful that you are here tonight to hear what the Career Academy is about. We have a great panel up here. I want to thank each and every one of them for coming. But before I go any further, I'd like to mention my board members that are actually here tonight. If you serve on the College and Career Academy board, if you would please stand, I would like to show you guys who they are. I see a few people here. I see Ms. Kathy Sweat in the back. She represents Lawrence County Board of Education. Mr. Demetrius Hollis is here. She represents Dublin City. Mr. Joe Thomas, Mr. David Gay is in the back. And then our superintendents, our ex officio members. We really appreciate you to serve on our board. I get asked this question all the time. What in the world is this Career Academy thing that you do? And I love to answer that question. We provide a unique approach to education. We serve high school students, and a lot of our career academies in our network serve adults as well, and we will be soon. Using our charter flexibility. What does that mean? We have really control over what we teach and how we teach it, and we have flexibility in how we present that. There are 37 career academies across the state, representing a $105 million investment in education from our state government. So a lot of them have been here almost 10 years, and we are relatively new on the scene, but the Career Academy model works, and I can take you to a lot of communities that have been very successful. Up in Northwest Georgia, Shaw Industries and Mohawk up in Dalton, they have set up shop there and basically have won business of the year through their academies. That's how they're training their workforce. We spoke about this earlier, Athens Community Career Academy. They have Caterpillar there. They have invested a lot of money in their Career Academy, and that's how they train their workforce. Kia in Troup County, they have a multi-million-dollar investment with their Career Academy is called Think at Troup County. That's how they train their adults as well as their students. So it's a model that's working across the state, and these communities that have career academies are able to locate these high-skilled, high-paying jobs that we would all want in our area. Communities prosper with highly trained workforce, and that's what we aim to do. At our Career Academy, we have several pathways that I want to talk about. The first one is Innovations in Science and Technology, and our principal, Mr. Troy Stuckey, he's also back here in the back. He is our principal, but he also teaches that course, and it is heavily involved in science, technology, engineering, and math. So we are training high-skilled workers in those areas. The second one is, I'm sure you will find, is very important to our area where we're located, but Global Logistics and Supply Chain Management, which is very significant in our area. Actually, the only one with the specific training that we're using through SREB, the only one in Georgia to be using it. It has been industry written through FedEx and Merck, I do believe, and it's really industry driven. I'm teaching them all kinds of stuff about production, supply chain, how products get where they go, and as you can see with the local industries here in our town, that's what they need to learn. We do have a great partnership with Fairview Park Hospital. They have provided all of our equipment. When you walk in, you are in a hospital, and we have a teacher of record that comes every day from Fairview Park and teaches, And then we have been blessed to have all kinds of different nurses in their specific career fields coming to teach our students, whether it be nutrition, whether it be himself teaching administration, whether it be doctors coming in and teaching. That's how they're teaching our students. Actual people in the career field are teaching them to be prepared for these jobs. We do have a forensic science program as well. And new for this year, we are very excited that YKK is sponsoring our robotics program. We are getting ready for competition, and in March we have 2 weekends that we will be going to Columbus and Albany to compete with our robot. And when I tell you, they had a kit of parts, and I said, wow, that's really neat, look at that stuff. Well, now we have a moving robot that is using remote controls, highly skilled. We had 3 mentors that are engineers from YKK come. We had a Georgia Tech engineer come as well, Mr. Randy Green as well, to come help our students and train these students on how to build a robot. And a lot of our industries in town use robotics in the manufacturing process. So these students will be way ahead of the ball game whenever they want to go into the workforce. And then again, we have all kinds of unique opportunities with our partners in education with Oconee Fall Line as well as Middle Georgia State. So we're excited about being here. We're here to serve our community, and I appreciate you coming tonight. And I think I'm gonna hand it back over to Jeff.
Hi, I'm Chuck Harwell with Community Bank of Dublin-Lawrence County, where our focus is you, our community. Our local lenders are here to help you with your business loans and your personal loans. Our decisions are made in the bank with an answer the same day you come in. Community Bank of Dublin-Lawrence County is where common sense banking never goes out of style. Other banks may come and go, but we're here to stay. We are approaching a decade of service for Dublin-Lawrence County. Thank you for your support. Come see us at Community Bank of Dublin-Lawrence County, the bank that's service built.
My New Year's resolution is to save you money. This week at Dublin Chevrolet, get up to $5,000 off Malibu or Cruise. Shop us anytime at myDublinChevrolet.com. Dublin Chevrolet, the only dealer you will ever need.
Okay, at this time we're going to take questions or comments from the audience. And the way we're going to work this is if you've got a question or a comment, and let's keep this on the on the positive note. If you can come up here to the podium, and if you want to address it directly to one of the panelists, or if you just want to make a comment, then at that point in time, if one of the panelists would like to respond, or we may just, let you make your comment and move on to the next person. So does anyone like to, is there a question or a comment from the audience?
Good evening. Thank you guys for being here and sharing that information. It's all great, and certainly well received by everybody in the room because they actually really care about what's going on. But can y'all give us a little more breakdown of the enrollment of the school, city, county county students, anticipated when you talk about Blackwood County is, talking about bringing some folks over in the fall. I'm very interested, in running a business here, being able to contribute to it, but I want to know a little bit more about my return on investment and what exactly it is that I'm supporting. So you guys could maybe shed a little bit more light on the actual number of students.
We currently have 89 students that represent 3 high schools. We have a little over half of those students come from Dublin City. The rest have come from East to West Lawrence. That's our demographics right now. Next year, we hopefully will have, we hopefully have Blakely and Wheeler involved. As our students grow, I'm expecting our enrollments from all of our area high schools to grow. We are thrilled that we have students from all 3 area high schools here in our programs this year, and we expect that to grow in the fall as well.
Someone might want to share the commitment that Valmera has made directly to the College and Career Academy, the importance they put on it.
We talked about one of the advantages of the Career Academy is the public-private partnership. Having our great academic partners in academia and private sector come in, which is really what is the catalyst when they put in private investment. I'm not an educator. I know a lot of times I hear from educators. My wife who says that sometimes getting funding with public sector education is tough. In this case, Valmera is investing 7 figures in putting brand new state-of-the-art equipment into the Career Academy space. So the partnership looks like this. You've got Valmera putting in $1 million worth of equipment. You have the Career Academy board providing 10,000 square foot of space, and you have the technical college providing all the instruction. So that's a pretty good model going forward for how we can implement that with Caterpillar or the next private sector company that comes in. You know, if you'll invest in your own equipment, wouldn't that be cool to have kids training on your state-of-the-art equipment that they'll be using once they graduate in your workplace? And that's exactly what we were able to do.
You know, a lot of people looking in from the outside think, okay, this may be duplicative, and I know we've talked about the CTA programs that are currently offered by the city and the county, but maybe explain to the group on why what's being taught at the Career Academy is not duplicative of what's being taught currently in the CTA programs in both the county and the city.
Well, to answer that, we are the only one in our region for sure doing global logistics and supply chain management and teaching these students that specific career field. For our health science program, we really have ownership of the curriculum, and our charter allows us to have flexibility on how we teach that and who teaches that. So a doctor might not be necessarily certified in teaching, but he is the authority when it comes to medicine. So that's how we can provide that child a specific hands-on training through through our industry partners. I just forgot the question. I'm so sorry. Duplication services. Okay, so high schools or area high schools around here, only one has a health science program, and it is a CNA program, which is a great program. But being a regional academy, Dublin High School and East Lawrence is not able to have that program. Okay, as Innovations in Science and Technology, that is an SREB curriculum. It is industry written, and it is Mr. Stuckey goes twice a year, well, once a year to Kentucky to train for that. It is a specific trained approach with a hands-on project-based model. And our forensic science, I don't believe anybody is teaching around here either. So the programs that we offer, we try not to, our goal is definitely not to duplicate services. Our goal is to provide new access and training for things that are not currently being done. And as we move forward, we're going to work with the CTAE people, which at all of our school systems, to make sure that duplication doesn't happen.
To kind of add to what she's saying, Spence, I agree. Kind of the underlying questions there: how do we make sure that this isn't a threat to the, those that are teaching those classes, and how do we make sure that what we're doing complements and supplements what's being done in the high schools? Because the high school is still going to provide these services. And so even if there's a healthcare program, can we do a healthcare program that isn't the same healthcare program? If, there's certain programs that are obviously not going to be taught anyplace else that are unique to this. But again, it is working with these instructors and directors from the city, the county, counties, to make sure that the curriculum that we develop, and the flexibility that the academy has is pretty significant. We don't have to have this program. You go to 37 different career academies, and you're going to see 37 different, school curriculums, if you will. Now, there's going to be some similarities, going to be a lot of differences. There's significant expertise. Significant expertise in the county that we need to tap into and learn how to do this, better. But it's got to be a partnership. It's got to be us all working together, and it's got to be non-duplicative. And we're very committed to that, and we're very aware of that.
We definitely want to be a complement to our current CTA programs, because in our high schools we have very strong CTA programs. Our goal is not to duplicate, but to really complement what is being done and work together to provide training for our region.
And it goes also not just to high schools. we want to make sure we're not doing the same thing they're doing at the technical school. You know, we're going to have dual enrollment, but let's not do the same program here when we can do it over there, you know, or Middle Georgia State University. So, yeah.
You talking about the educational side with where the career academy is at from a state level. I think if you back up and think, Lieutenant Governor initiated that program, and it's been an educational process up to this point to a certain extent to get a feel for what we really need. And going forward, I think when you look at the next administration, regardless of which one it is, they've got it to the point now, funding will be a part of the educational process from this situation. So I think we're sitting on the edge of you getting some support to do what needs to be done at the state level, which is what you really need.
Okay, we got about 5 more minutes, time for one more question. No, so this is kind of a follow-up on Matt's statement. Just a general question. I mean, Valmera, they stepped to the table and they gave $1 million. And, you know, sitting here as Joe taxpayer, that's really good. That sounds really good to me. But is the theory that if YKK wants another type worker, that YKK needs to donate some money to the academy too? So if the answer to that question is yes, then Joe taxpayer is really happy about that. If I wanted to get together with Jeff and Sam and of the other bankers in the town, and we started, you know, an intro to banking program out there, and we pulled our resources together and gave it to the school, does that not make Joe taxpayer happier too?
Absolutely, and I'll be in your office next week to discuss that. So I'll be there. I mean, after this, I'll be glad to meet with you, whatever works. But yes, that's exactly what can happen. We are a 501c3 organization. It is tax deductible. I'll give you a form for that. Yes, industries can donate to us. They could create a curriculum specifically for what they need. We can train students on their equipment, on your telling services, whatever you need to do, and upon graduation, they can work for you. There is no gap between graduation and going to work. So that is what we can do. And like I said, Jeff, I'll be in your office too. Get ready.
Our goal is that these two school systems, or Bleckley, or Telfair, or Wheeler, or Dodge County, we hope to get Dodge County part of this too. It's that nobody has to pay any money from the school systems. Take money, precious money, away from them. It is to get complete support. We certainly have gotten funding from the state. Exactly right. We get money from the state. That $3.5 million renovation. I know there'll be perhaps more of that is through grants, but clearly that's the goal of this.
Well, I think we each should thank our panelists for coming tonight. And thank each one of you for coming, because just like I said when I opened, education is very important, and I know we're very interested in what's going on. So good night and thanks for coming.